Hey, it's Debbie and Audrey with the Question Queens. Welcome back, and we're so glad to see you. And if you've not hit that subscribe button, could you go ahead and do that and the like button? You can take it back at the end of the video if you didn't really like it, but I think you will. Anyway, we have a video that we posted, and it was about educated women and why do men not want smart women. So what we're going to do is replay that video and talk about some of the comments that people left so we can have kind of a discussion about it. A lot of people left a lot of good things. Here it is.
Women leave 70% of the time. If they're college educated, they leave 90% of the time.
Because men don't
ruin
want women
relationships
that are
and they
college
ruin families.
educated.
Women
So
leave.
women typically do it.
Actually,
And so if a
unreal.
guy
If a man-
ask the majority of men, their first choice is not a
Why
baby
doesn't a man
mother.
want a
just
smart
just
woman?
like our first choice typically is not a short broke guy.
That's right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Now,
And you think
will
a
we
woman-
put up
a
with
man's
a guy
choice is
that's
a short,
shorter if he's
broke
good looking?
woman?
Sure. Will a guy put up with a single mother if she has some other things that she brings to
Put
the
up
table? Maybe
with a
she's
single
attractive.
mother.
Maybe she has
Wow.
other stuff. Maybe she's submissive. Whatever it is that he values. Yeah, but it's most men. It is not their first choice.
Okay. What do you mean?
Don't-
All righty. It was a little hostile. Well, I want to say I read a study and it was all about they did speed dating. The men had to rate the women on desirability. They did this in rounds. And then as they found out their education, the more education the woman has, the less desirable she becomes, unless it's not above the education he has. So if he has an undergrad degree, that's the max she can have. She can't have her master's, a PhD, a master's. Because why? I mean, let's be real.
Now that doesn't mean those people could never have a happy life together, but it means in this study when you're just rating people's desirability.
But why is that? Why would you not want someone like, to me, and maybe it's different. Maybe women want men that are smarter than them. I can't even imagine judging someone if I had my master's and they had their PhD, how that would be a turnoff. I don't understand. So guys, go ahead and leave a comment on that one because I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, and it does. I mean, it makes sense to me just in the fact, again, it's not all people, it's not all times, but in general, a man wants to feel needed. And so the more independent and resources you have, he's not going to feel as needed. And so in the sterile environment of you have to rate this person on their desirability, do you like them more or less now that you know they have a PhD? I like them less. You know, it doesn't mean that
It's
if they
such
were
an
on a
ego
date,
thing. It's such an ego thing. It's all ego.
I don't know. I mean, it might be design.
It's
You
ego.
know, somewhere in a sermon somewhere, I heard that everybody wants love. There's no question. The number one thing y'all have to do when you get together is love each other. But the second thing is that men want respect and women want to feel safe.
So you don't think an educated woman can respect a man?
I think she can,
I
but
think she
that
can
may
too.
not be his experience, or it may be his insecurity. I think it's more likely
That's what I
that
think.
his insecurity
Mm-hmm.
is that
Yeah.
he's going to be,
Which is ego.
well, and I mean, it's a real thing. So, I mean, I don't think it's something that you poo-poo at. If that's the way men are built, that's the way they're built.
I gotta fix this so we can see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, so the first comment, this ginger is so insane. Yeah, I agree with you, Mondo.
I don't think she's insane. I think she's
No.
found her niche.
Okay, well, let me move this over a little bit more.
All right.
Nope, can't do it that way. Okay, JJ Gamboa. It all depends on the guy. I don't know what you mean. My friend since the third grade, we graduated now. His girlfriend is going to college, and my girlfriend's on the way to college. So good job there, JJ. That's a man that's not insecure.
Yeah.
All right. And here's another thing. When she said that 80% of women leave, whatever she said, and if they're educated, 90% leave. Well, here's the thing. Women aren't stuck anymore. So if a man cheats on you and they're educated, they actually don't have to stay. They're not stuck having no income and no resources and no career to fall back on. They leave. Back in the day, they didn't. They didn't
Right.
have any options. So that's why you're seeing more educated women say, you know what? I'm not taking your shit. And I'm
I mean,
out.
and I don't know that 90% of them are getting cheated on or 60% of them are getting cheated on. But if anybody is cheating on somebody, that what they're saying is, I would like to have my cake and eat it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have left if they wanted to leave.
Right.
You know, and so and if you are in a position where whatever this relationship is, you don't want to be in it anymore, how quickly you get out depends on how able you are to take care of yourself.
Right.
You know, if somebody's being abusive to you, sometimes you just got to run out in the night. But if it's just you don't want to be there anymore, how likely you are to leave depends on how easily you're going to be able to make a new life for yourself somewhere else.
Exactly.
How
Exactly.
easily you can untangle your lives together.
And if you have an education, you have more of an
Option.
ability to do that.
Yep.
Well, one guy said there's a big difference between educated and smart, and I
Amen
get
to
that. I
that.
don't want to get down into all that, but and I agree with you.
There's a lot of well-educated dummies out
Right.
there.
Another one is free the humans. It's not your choice though. Men shouldn't be shamed as much as women don't want to be shamed. I'm not exactly sure what he means by that. I don't think anybody
feel
should
him.
be shamed. What does he mean?
Yeah, I feel him. I'm saying if a man wants an 18-year-old just a little bit less smart than him girl, that's what he wants. And I feel like she says that. I feel like she says that there's a point where nobody's choosing broke people. Nobody's going out saying, I want to be with the brokest, dumbest, toothlessest guy I can find. Nobody's walking out the door thinking that. But then you make a connection where you make a connection. And so you shouldn't be shamed for saying this is my ideal. If the survey says who is your ideal woman, and you say gorgeous, slightly less educated than I am, wants to
Sounds
stay
so
home and make
terrible.
sandwiches. If that's what if that's what the survey asks, he should be able to say that.
It sounds, I agree. Everybody should be able to want what they want. But when you flip around and say, you know, well, men aren't, or women aren't going after, if women should be allowed to go after successful, handsome, well-off men, why are they being shamed for it? Because it's exactly
Who's
what
shaming them? They got their
is.
own freaking show.
No, she is. And
Oh, well,
then
shit. I mean,
he's like, that's why I said, you know, well, men aren't going after short, broke women. But then she had another thing about finances that, yeah, men don't care about women's finances. Okay, so I cannot read that name, but you can see it on the screen.
Coco Dior,
Go hard 420.
Coco Dior, go hard 420.
Every time I see her, I ask, what is her relationship like? Is she married? Everyone that gives advice like this, look at their relationship. And she's 25 years old. She's never been married and she's not a virgin. So she's pretty much the hoe that everybody keeps talking, she keeps talking about.
Well, and we know, I mean, those that can do, those that can teach. I mean,
give the best advice.
Give the best advice.
Well, look, hey, do you remember the millionaire matchmaker girl?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she set people up all the time. She didn't have a relationship.
That's exactly right. Well,
I'm not saying I won't listen to them just because they don't, preach what they teach or no, live what they, whatever it is, whatever I'm trying to say.
And that doesn't mean you can't have insight into things.
You can. That's like saying men can't talk. Well, never mind. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, that was not a good thing. Anyway, so the last one is you can value your independence. This is how some guys feel Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I know a lot of guys that would degrade women too, and still doesn't mean they can't pick and choose. You choose independence, enjoy it, live it. Just because you don't agree doesn't make you right. What do you think?
I'm not exactly sure what that has to do with what we were
I
talking
don't
about.
either. Did I miss
But
something about independence and shaming? And
I mean, I like that people value their independence.
I do too. I think that that is something I respect about people, men or women. But
But I do
anyway,
think just in general, it's important to guys to feel needed. They want to know, they need to know where they fit in. And I'm assuming women want that too. I've never really thought about it for women, but they want to know where
yeah,
they're going
they
to
do
fit.
want to
And if
feel
you're
needed.
completely independent and they are not exactly sure, well, I'm not sure how it can add any value to your life.
They do feel need. They do feel a need to be needed. I think all people feel a need to be needed, and in love, that's what it creates. However, um, to me, it seems a little manipulative, a little egocentric. But again, men are allowed to like what they want or want what they want.
Mhm.
So are women. But
Right.
I cannot imagine everything's great about this woman, and you find out she has a higher degree than you do. I can't imagine a man saying, you know what, that's it. No, can't do it.
She said.
Look,
That's what she
there
said.
was one other video I watched her, and she's like, men need to find an uneducated woman
Well, I mean,
that will
she's
stay
trying to
home
be.
and watch the children. Of course, the guy agreed with her.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what she said, then she's being intentionally
Why do you
inflected.
need a career? Why do you need this big education when you want to be a stay-at-home mom?
It's called an MRS, ain't it? That's
Well,
what I was heard.
what is that? What is MRS?
It's Mrs. It's women that go to college to get married so that they can meet somebody.
Oh, well, it's not to me. To me, that you think about in the last several decades, how many single moms have raised children? And those women are they're basically pushing their children to get an education because they're divorced. They don't want their daughters to be in that situation. So therefore they're pushing them to get more educated. Well, why can't you do both? Why can't you have an education and still want to be a stay-at-home mom? I don't see why you can't. And I don't know, and as a man that's supposed to provide protection, security, what man wouldn't want their wife to be in a position where if something happened to him, she's going to be okay?
Yeah, I mean, that's the ideal, but because the men are bringing their own trauma to this, and so they don't want somebody too uppity, I guess.
I don't know. I don't get it. But
I don't.
anyway, all right. So I know that was a really long video.
Yeah, we'll have to rewatch it and
Yes,
come up with some
definitely.
new. That was a
Leave a
little
comment
bit.
for us. Let us know your thoughts. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, let us, definitely hit that on the way out. Hit the like button and the share button. Hit all the buttons.
Thanks so much.
Hit all the buttons. All right. And we will see you real soon. Bye.